My name is Brandon and welcome to or welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you like what you see in here, you're more than welcome to hit the subscribe button so you stay notified every time I upload a new video. Okay, let's get straight on with today's video. Hey everyone and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be doing episode 6, the review of the Traitors series 1. So it is getting very intense now and I feel like I get more and more emotional every episode because a lot happens and it's very difficult to condense down into a video, but I'm going to try my best. And like I said, I just want to get to the end so I can see exactly what happened and how the winning person or people managed to get to the end. So that's what I'm going to do. So at the beginning of the episode, Wilfred, along with Amanda and Alyssa, all discussed as the traitors that they should be getting rid of people who probably wouldn't be getting rid of by banishment. So when everyone's there around that circle who is not likely to get voted out, that's who they should just get rid of, to kind of cause confusion and some upset within the rest of the people. Kieran actually said to Maddie that she seems to be on the money with Wilfred, so at least she's got someone that kind of believes her when she says that she doesn't trust him. Kieran also has his doubts around him, so they could be a good little duo. And Maddie said that the traitors would have wiped her out otherwise because she would have been too knowledgeable on who the traitors are. They're actually keeping her because then if they get rid of her, it will be even more suspicious that the people who didn't trust Maddie or didn't agree with what she was saying, a handful of them would be the traitors. So yeah, they would have got rid of her otherwise. So there's obviously the wrong person hasn't heard, basically. So there's rumours going around that she doesn't trust them, but they either have heard and just don't agree or don't care because no one else is going to listen anyway, or they're working out a way to get rid of her, but just 6-7 steps ahead down the line. And then we found out the traitors would have either got rid of Matt or Faye. Matt was the next person who was removed from the game. Amanda said that Matt was very observant, and obviously when he left he did say that the traitors were playing a phenomenal game and he was happy that he could leave the game by explaining that he was genuinely himself the whole way through, didn't need to be fake or anything. And there were 15 people left. So with these 15 people, Hannah and Alex both went outside, they had a quick chat, and Hannah explained to Alex that she couldn't get Alyssa out of her head, there was just something around her. Hannah also said that Wilfred was the last person that she would suspect. So again, she's kind of got one of the traitors right. Alex said that she knows Wilfred wants the money, because he's obviously got 2 children and a mortgage to pay for, and she basically, to the camera, said that if anyone's going to want to do anything to get that money, he's most likely to probably do that, so she has her suspicions around him. So again, her and Maddie both on the same page of having issues with Wilfred, but obviously neither of them haven't ever put out there completely. Alyssa also managed to start planting seeds about Alex, so obviously because she knew she was kind of on the radar of being targeted, she was telling everyone how untrustworthy Alex was and how she kind of needs to go. But actually Faye said that she thought Alex was faithful. Amanda was also in that room, so she kind of didn't really say much, but she kind of had to try and back up Alyssa, but she wasn't able to, so she just kept quiet. But yeah, Faye a bit not out of place, but a little bit forward there, saying no, she thinks Alex is faithful. So Alyssa's like, okay, well that's that plan screwed. Now she has to think of backup. And then Maddie, Amos, Aaron, Theo and Meryl were all having a chat. And actually I think Maddie had spoken to Amos, who had asked to be taken to a group of faithfuls, and she was like, well here you go, here's all the faithfuls. And then both Meryl and Maddie said that they didn't trust each other and they both thought that each other was a traitor, which again obviously is not true. I think Meryl, the fact that Maddie keeps trying to take control, and then Maddie about Meryl, that like I said, when Tom was eliminated from the game and Meryl had voted for him but quickly said I knew that, Maddie was like, okay, well if you knew he wasn't a traitor, why did you vote for him? So that's that little situation. But yeah, Theo and Aaron are obviously both, actually all 5 of that group are faithfuls, but they don't all know that for certain, so that'll be quite interesting to see how that plays out. But yeah, Amos said basically Maddie becomes more right with every faithful that leaves the game, so with every good person that goes, that's one more person that should have listened to Maddie to potentially get a traitor out instead. So yeah, Amos was kind of on Maddie's side again. Like I said, he's still quite new to the game, he kind of left the game and then came back, but he kind of is on her wavelength. So you've got some little pairs and little groups that are happening at the moment. But yeah, like people like Meryl, people like Aaron may stray away from the pack if they have their other alternatives. And then what happened is all 3 all of the contestants got into 3 teams. So they had blue team, which was Alex, Aaron, Amanda, Hannah, Theo. Red team, Kieran, Faye, Maddie, Amos and Andrea. And the white team, which was Wilfred, Alyssa, Meryl and Ryan. Or Ryan, I think it's Ryan, but I keep pronouncing it Ryan, I think it's Ryan. And they basically played a big boy game of hide and seek. So 2 volunteers for each team. So from the blue team, it was Alex and Hannah. From the red team, it was Kieran and Faye. And from the white team, it was Meryl and Ryan. And they basically volunteered themselves to technically be buried alive. So they were put in coffins for 45 minutes, while the rest of their team followed clues on a map, found sorts of keys and clues, and they had walkie-talkies to speak to the people that were buried alive to kind of work out where they were. The winning team were able to potentially win a pass to the armory, to potentially win a shield to save them from being murdered that evening. So yeah, throughout the rest of the game you could see people walking through trees, bridges, digging for clues, that kind of thing. So that was really, really cool. And obviously once all of the teams, the leftover of the teams that weren't buried, got to the end, they all had to dig up the rest of their teammates, and it was 1,500 that would be added to the pot for every person they were managed to dig out, basically. And then once the winning team got their people out, they then started helping everyone else. Basically everyone helped everyone. It was a nice little team vibe. So yeah, the blue team were the winning team. So that was Alex, Aaron, Amanda, Hannah and Theo. So again, Alex, the blonde girl, she'd lost her boyfriend Tom, so I think she kind of wanted some sort of immunity purely just to save her for another night. Aaron didn't really have the radar on him. I think she just had people like Maddie looking towards his direction. Obviously Amanda was a traitor, so she didn't really need the shield. Hannah, again, she had a few people thinking that it was her, others that weren't really sure. Obviously she's faithful. Same with Theo. He initially had fingers pointed at him by Imran, but that was ages ago, and since he left the show, yeah, no one else seems to have had fingers pointed at Theo either. So yeah, they all had one chance to have their pass in the armory, to potentially get a shield. All of the people were recovered from the coffins, so that was an extra 9,000 that they added to the prize pot, and they actually only had 5 seconds left on the timing as well, so that was good. And then Alex had a quite funny comment saying that she felt safer being buried alive than being in the castle, because obviously you don't know what happens. People go all the time, and obviously people come all the time as well, as you had the 2 newcomers, so it'd be interesting to see if any new people are added to the game this late and this many episodes in, but I don't think that would happen. And then when it came to the shields, Theo, Hannah, Aaron, Alex, none of them got the shield. It was actually Amanda who got the shield, so she obviously said that it was ironic, and it was brilliant because it meant that all 4 of those people were then up for grabs to eliminate as the other team, because there was no way they could save themselves in the eviction. Amos said to Wilfred and Meryl that Maddie has at least one person correct in terms of the traitors. Wilfred kind of denied it being him, and he repeated himself saying no, she's got at least one right. So whether Amos is hinting that it potentially he doesn't trust Wilfred, or whether it's somebody else, Amos knows that Maddie's right with at least one person. Again, Kieran was on side with Maddie, some of the boys were on side with Maddie, so it's not like she's on her own. Alex also having her concerns for Wilfred, and also Alyssa. So it's a little bit mismatched, and there's a lot going on, but everyone kind of now has slight suspicions of some of the traitors at least. Maddie then said to Kieran that she thinks Wilfred is a traitor, and if she's correct, she'll just retrain as a magician. Kieran's going on facts rather than just guessing. And Ryan said that the only person they haven't been listening to is Maddie. So obviously, when they've not been listening to her, faithful people have kept being removed from the show. And Maddie said that they need to get at least one traitor, otherwise she's not going to like this game. The total prize fund, 56,700. And then yeah, it was another round table session. So Andrea decided to start it off this time. She basically questioned who could be a traitor, and she actually stated that she was thinking it was more of the younger people. No reason why, but she just had an inkling it could be some of the younger people. She didn't accuse Alyssa, but she said, Alyssa, you could be a traitor. Her comeback was that although she doesn't really come across very faithful or whatever, she kind of, there's just a lot of things going on and there's lots of different stories, and she wants to get involved and actually be faithful, but she kind of deflected off of that and then went for Alex, saying that Alex potentially was double bluffing, that maybe she knew Matt was a traitor, so by evicting him it looks like she's deflected it off it being her, and then the whole Tom situation. So I'm not exactly sure how Alyssa phrased it, but I think yeah, she basically said that Alex had some sort of weird game plan with Tom and Matt, that she knew they weren't traitors, but she's a traitor and whatever. And then she basically replied to Alyssa and said, well, no, I wouldn't shoot myself in the foot and make up this kind of weird plan to, get this guy out or whoever. So yeah, I wasn't really sure about that particular thing, but yeah, Alyssa basically said that it's not her, and that she thinks it was Alex. Alex then had that comeback and said, well, actually, now that you've thought that I'm a traitor and I know generally deep down I am a faithful, that makes me think you're a traitor even more. So that was a weird dialogue between those two girls. But yeah, and then Amos went on to explain that based on people's personalities and how people's actions and things have changed, it makes him think that he knows potentially who one of the traitors is. He just basically said, Wilfred, you're probably a traitor, dismissing all of Maddie's ideas. Meryl seemed to think that Wilfred and Aaron were both faithful, and Theo, I think he was sitting next to Wilfred, said that Wilfred looked really, really shaky, and that he was actually going to back Maddie because she backed him with the Nikki situation. So again, I feel like Maddie's got a few of the guys on side, and a few of the girls on side as well. But yeah, there was a lot of direction staring at Wilfred, Alyssa and Alex at this point. So this was the part of the episode that kind of really shocked me. So obviously Wilfred, Alyssa and Amanda, all three of the traitors. Wilfred actually put the target then on Alyssa. Very, very weird, but that was kind of like a backstabbing thing. So he just said he wanted to change the game plan and decided that he would go for someone quiet. And I think it's because she already had eyes looking at her and he already had people looking at him. So in order to make it feel better about himself, because he was a traitor and knew who a traitor was, if he could help the team get a traitor out, they would then trust him and basically think that he wasn't a traitor. So again, it was a really weird mindset going on, but if he was able to prove to the team that he could get a traitor out because he had this feeling about it, and the traitor was to go, they would then actually trust him and entrust him. So yeah, he kind of said to the camera that, so he basically said that he wanted to help the team find a traitor in order to get the team to leave him alone, and treat him as if he was one of the faithfuls. So when it came down to the votings, obviously there was only 14, I think there was 14 votes in total, including the two new guys, Amos and Kieran, who managed to join back. And on the 13th vote, there was 5 votes for Alyssa, 5 votes for Wilfred, 2 for Ryan and 1 for Maddie. So obviously there was 1 vote left, and again the deciding vote was down to Amanda. So it's quite interesting how she's had the deciding vote a couple of times now. So yeah, she was either going to vote between Wilfred and Alyssa. She went with Alyssa, so she voted Alyssa out, was revealed as a traitor, and yeah, she kind of just apologised for how she played the game, so obviously started crying a little bit, and then obviously left, and the rest of them said, no, you don't have to apologise, it was part of the game. But they got at least 1 traitor out, which was good. And then Amanda actually said that between her, Wilfred and Alyssa, that Alyssa probably was the weakest link, so if they were going to turn against anyone, it was going to be Alyssa. And then even though Wilfred started crying, getting upset, and that Alyssa had gone and that managed to get a traitor out, Maddie said that it still could be Wilfred. And she said, I'm on your back, the case is not closed. So she is a feisty lady who, once she has her eyes on someone, even though he's got all these emotions and he's got his tears out, she still doesn't trust him 100%. And then Wilfred and Amanda went to their little section, the traitor section, and they had a chat. And they both agreed that that was really brutal, but it had to be done, like Wilfred said, to get people off his back. Amanda then reminded Wilfred what's on the Welsh flag, obviously a dragon, and basically said to him that if he tries to get her out or do anything to manipulate the game to get Amanda out of the game, she's going to turn into a dragon and hunt him down and basically get him out of the game too. She was happy to stick with Wilfred because out of the two of him and Alyssa, he was the strongest. And then Claudia Winkleman appeared, and she basically said to both Wilfred and Amanda that what they could either do is to murder someone, so again remove somebody from that game, or to invite someone to become a traitor. So whether they say yes or no is a different story, but to just send an invitation out. So they went through some of the traitor potentials. They're thinking about Aaron, they said no. Faye, no. Andrea, no. And then they got to Alex, and they said that potentially, because now her boyfriend is out of the game, she may actually go, you know what, I'll have a think, I might actually become a traitor. So she had she's now been given the option, she doesn't have to say yes. But that was the last part that we saw in that episode of her receiving the letter, not knowing it was from not knowing who the traitors were, but knowing it was from the traitors. So she can either say yes, join the team, and then it's Wilfred, Amanda and Alex, or she can say no and continue being a faithful. So yeah, that was it for that episode. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. There'll be some more episodes coming soon, 6 episodes left, and then we get to find out who the winner or winners are of the show. But like I said, very, very good so far. I think at the moment, I would say my winners, probably, I like Alex, just purely because now her boyfriend's not in the game, so she can now kind of be in control herself. I think Hannah is quite good. I know people are a bit iffy or whiffy with her, but I think she's got away with words. She conducts herself very good within the different conversations that she's part of. People like Amanda as well, I think although she doesn't talk much or engage much, she still says enough in a conversation to be included and involved. With the rest of them, I can't really tell as of yet, but I think Maddie's also quite good just because she has all these different ideas. She has a lot of people that are now looking to her for advice, or you have like Theo who's kind of got her back, Kieran who's got her back, Alex also having the same suspicions like with Maddie of Wilfred and Alyssa, but obviously before she left, and they're kind of my front runners, kind of Hannah, Alex, Amanda, Maddie. I think they're probably my top 4. Wilfred, if he sorts his game out, could also do quite well. Don't really know much about Kieran or Amos as of yet, but again, Amos seems like he could be quite a good detective. Meryl, not too sure, and then the rest of them just need to build I need to build a bit more of them first, because I haven't really got much of a base with them. But yeah, let's see what happens in the next episode. But yeah, as of now, enjoy the rest of your afternoon, evening, morning, or whatever, and I'll see you for episode 7 very, very soon. And until then, thank you very much, and goodbye.